Let me tell you a story. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to be a YouTuber. It is probably one of the most fulfilling and most impactful things that I viewed that I could do with my life. You know, a lot of people say it's about the money, or it's about the fame, or the prestige that comes from it. But ever since I was young, I always wanted to be able to help people. You know, ever since I sat at my mother's house when she tried to choke me to death and screamed at me, I really felt like I had to share that story with somebody. And so, I decided from that moment on that I wanted to be a YouTuber, because it is the easiest way to influence all of these people, is to have the long-reaching influence of somebody like that. Without that, my stories die with me. Nobody will ever hear them. Nobody will ever have somebody to talk to about them. They will just be lost to the wind. And it's really got me thinking. As you probably know, I have one video that really made it to a relatively large amount of people. That is, I lost my job to false PDF allegations. I hate this video. Listen, I am very grateful for all the support that I've been given from the video, but I genuinely cannot stand the fact that the thing that I am known for is my lowest moment in life. One of my lowest moments anyways. And having to just sit there and accept the fact that my entire life's work, the one thing that I'll probably be known for when I'm dead in the grave, is a video where I complained about a bunch of bullshit that happened to me. It's sickening. It really makes me feel like I don't have much of a purpose in this life, because without the ability to share my stories, what am I? Am I meaningless? Do I have a purpose in this life without a story to be shared, or am I just a walking corpse waiting to be reunited with the earth from which I came? I don't know. And so, I wanted to tell you a story today. I wanted to tell you the true story of how I lost everything, from the beginning to the end. I want to go into all of it, mostly because I really don't know what else to talk about, and I want to bookend this whole saga of drama, because it has been a lot to deal with, and truthfully, I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be able to go on without addressing how much I hate this video. It was 3 a.m. I was up late at night, and I had just lost my job. I didn't know what to do, as every effort to try to proclaim anything to anybody was lost to the void. I had tried talking to friends, I tried talking to family members, I had tried talking to genuinely anybody I could get my hands on, all my connections. None of them were willing to listen, or rather, none of them could listen because they were completely outlawed and just forced to never be able to say or speak what they truly feel, because they would face retaliation in the same way that I did. It was a giant, massive cover-up, and with nowhere else to turn, I turned to the one place that I thought that I could find solace in: YouTube. I knew that it was far-fetched, and I knew that most people who make videos just never get anywhere, but I had a gut feeling in the back of my mind that I should do this. It's almost like there was an otherworldly force guiding me to make this video, because I hadn't uploaded in 5 years, and for whatever reason, this seemed to be my Hail Mary. Why'd I go through with it? Couldn't tell you. I don't know, and frankly, I'm not sure if I want to know, because I think not knowing is more better than figuring out what the real reason behind this was. The only thing that matters is that this video was made, and it fucking exploded. Within the first week, I got over 1,000 subscribers and 50,000 views on the first video alone. I then made a sequel follow-up, which only got around 3,000, which I can't complain about whatsoever, because it is still more numbers than I'd ever seen before in my life. And so with it, I decided maybe I should try to give this YouTube thing another shot. After all, it is my dream after all. So why try to hide from it? And I started. And every single thing I have tried to post after that does not relate to the drama or me suffering in one way or another has got nada. You probably know, if you watch the channel, if you're a subscriber anyways, you probably know that I posted a game trailer for Ito. It's the background footage you're seeing right now, and it is an incredibly good obby game, and I recommend you go give it a watch, because it is that good. And I just feel like a lot of people are missing out by not checking out this game. It's amazing. And with that, I would like to give you guys an idea of what happened after I had posted that. It was the most effort I had put into a video in years. It was the worst performing video on my channel. Still is, right now. The video that I pour my heart and soul into, nothing. Ashes to the wind. Me complaining about my mother trying to kill me, or me complaining about how some bullshit happened to me in my life. Everybody's suddenly interested in that. I know I can't complain, because at least some people are finally finding my stories, but it just feels... almost anticlimactic for the thing that you wanted to spread being positivity and uplifting messages, and the only thing that people actually want to watch is listening to said negativity that draws them down further. I'm not sure if it's an algorithmic thing, I'm not sure if it's something on my end that I'm doing wrong, or the thumbnail's not good enough, or the video's not long enough, did I not edit them enough? I don't know. And personally, I don't know if I will ever be able to tell. One thing that I can say for sure, though, is that it ruined my motivation to post anything. I haven't uploaded in about a week now at this point at the time of me recording this, and that's just because I genuinely hate the fact that people only care about whatever the fuck garbage happens in my life. You know, it's frustrating. You pour your heart and soul into something, and nobody watches it. Nobody cares. Not a single person cares. I have made several videos on this, how reality doesn't seem to care, how nobody ever seems to care about whether or not we exist or not. It's only about our values, what negativity can be extorted from us and put into the world. And with that, I feel like I need to make a change, because it is time for a change. I'm not going to want to be the guy that wants to talk about drama for the rest of my life. I want to share my stories with people. I want to share what I have with the world. I want to be able to make my passions, my deepest life stories, and my dreams shared with the world. That's what I want to do with my life, because in that way, I can uplift people. I can teach them what to do with their lives. I can teach them what mistakes not to make. I can teach them about everything in the world. That's my dream. It's not being some fucking YouTuber who has a bunch of money. It's about me being able to help people for a living. That's what I've always wanted to do. And I know there are other routes to it. There is, therapy, there is mental health counseling, there is case managing, there is job coaching, but none of that really feels like it would give me the broad personal appeal that I want, because in professions like that, you have boundaries that have to be set. You have to have certain codes and context to follow. I don't want to do that. I want to be my own boss, and I want to be able to help people in the way that I think they need it, not bend to the whims of some agency. I want to be able to help in the way that I was never given help as a child. That's kind of why I talk about my mother trying to kill me. That's why I talk about the fucking time that I got expelled from the first grade. These are deeply personal and relatable stories that a lot of people could really have a message or a motive taken away from, because it makes it better for them. They have a better time when they know that the people around them are going through the same struggles that they have day to day, and therefore it'll feel so much better to the victims or to the people who are looking for a way out. That's what you want. That's the kind of shit that I want for them. Nothing else. I don't want to deal with the bullshit of everyday life. I want to give back in a way that I was never given myself. That is the thesis of this channel, and that's what I want it to be going forward. Because truth be told, yeah, I can make clickbaity, garbage videos pulling 200 views, or I can change things up and try to make the experience both more enjoyable for me and the viewer. Because that's what's important after all, is making sure that everybody can find as many of these as possible. I'm not sure if what I'm even doing is worth it. I'm not sure if I should just stop posting altogether. Like, at the end of the day, I don't care about the views, but I feel like, again, that stupid fucking PDF video, the stupid fucking allegations are still haunting me, even now when they're completely disproven and thrown into a fucking bucket. That shit still finds a way to make things miserable for me, and I hate it. My hate aside, though, I still feel like I'm at the whims of some algorithmic god blessing me with the ability to pursue my passions and dreams. There is so much wrong with this platform when it comes to smaller creators. Genuinely, nobody can get pushed, because instead of pushing my stories, you know what it pushes? It pushes the newest fucking Mr. Beast video, where a bunch of teenagers harass an old man for like an hour and a half, and then Jimmy gets so fucking bored of trying to deal with these shits that he just gives him an impossible challenge. Spoiler for the new Mr. Beast video if you want to watch that for some reason, but at the end of it, he just fucking says, "I'm done with this challenge. Y'all are never leaving. Eat all of the food in a grocery store." That's impossible. You can't do that. Okay, MatPat made a fucking video on it, and in order for everybody to go through all of the food in a grocery store, one person would need 68.8 years to get through all of the food. And so they'll have to live in that grocery store for 15 years to beat the challenge. It's fucking impossible. You literally can't do it. You just can't do it. He just gave him an impossible challenge because he was so tired of them not getting the money. He's a shitty person and a scumbag. I'm not saying that all of what Jimmy does is wrong, right? He donates a lot to charity, and it is a very good thing for him to start all of these charities, even if he's not starting them for the right reasons. At the end of the day, he's still helping people, and that is a goal in which I respect. But to try and act like Jimmy has really the best interest of the people in mind when all he does is brings his friends onto challenges and gets random people in the area to come participate in shit. Yeah, there's no fun in that. People are left scarred for life after some of his challenges, and those who aren't miss valuable years and months with their families just because they need the money so fucking desperately. It is disgusting to look into that, and I know I might be a little bit envious. Of course I'm actually envious. I really want to be in that position, but it's not like I can do much because, oopsie daisy, the algorithmic god won't bless me. I mean, I'm not entitled to it. I don't have to have it, but it's frustrating to see all of the bullshit that people post out, put no effort into it, all this AI slop, and I'm left with table scraps under the floor. It's ridiculous, and I wish there was something I could do to counter it. I wish there was something I could do to make things better for myself and for everybody else involved, but I don't know until I get like a fucking 100,000 subscribers, until I can figure out what mystical force decided to make people listen to my PDF allegations and nothing else. I am stuck in transit. I am stuck in complete and utter limbo, and I don't know how to get out of it. Because if it were just as simple as, you know, trying to make the best out of a shitty situation, I would have been fine. But because that's not the case, I don't know what the fuck to do. Do I just re-upload the other video on a second channel as a test run to see if it really was that video had something good going on with it, or was it just literally a stroke of dumb luck? Which is what I'm leaning towards. I really don't think I had any skill involved in this whatsoever. I think I just got fucking lucky, and now I can't recapture that same luck, because guess what? I'm a fucking dumbass. I've never won a coin flip before. What makes me think I can win the lottery 20 times over in order to make a livable wage off of uplifting people? It's just not possible. You can't do it. And me being me, I'm gonna keep trying regardless, if nothing else, but because I just enjoy doing this, genuinely. I would not be up in my room making a video at 9:28 p.m. if I really just cared about the views, because it's gonna get like 50 views max, I guarantee it, because I'm not talking about some doomer depressive shit. Actually, maybe this will break 1,000 now that I think about it, because this is a doomer depressive video, so maybe YouTube will actually give a fuck that I exist now. And all the while the shit I actually put effort into is just getting buried with ashes to the fucking wind. It's saddening, it's depressing, and I wish there was something I could do about it, but I just can't, and it sucks, man, it really sucks. And so, where do we go from here? You know, I am left at a crossroads right now, and I kind of have to choose between, do I keep posting videos and know that there is a very real chance that nobody's ever going to watch them again, or do I pivot? Do I start focusing on other things in my life? Because truthfully, these videos do take up a lot of my free time. For all the time I spend making a video, I could stream with it, where I know I have people that are going to watch me. I could, you know, go out and pick up more hours at work to try to get some savings up so I can move elsewhere and maybe fulfill my life a little bit better than where I am right now. But I feel like there's something drawing me to this stubborn kid in me that just refuses to give up no matter how unfathomably low the odds of anything ever happening are. I'm a dumbass. I am a literal fucking idiot that does not understand when to give up. I'm not sure if it's an admirable trait. I'm not sure if it's a foolish trait. It's probably a lot of different things in one, actually. Point is, I want to make a difference. I feel like I can, and I feel like if I keep pushing, eventually, maybe something will come true. Maybe whatever godforsaken purgatory that I have found myself trapped in, maybe I'll escape it. You know, maybe one day I'll actually make it to the top of the metaphorical tower, and I'll just, I don't know, maybe something will be made, or maybe nothing will ever be made. Who the hell am I to judge? I can't tell, because unfortunately, the way the world is right now, there is really no way to tell what's going to happen in the future, and that's the scary part. You know, for the longest time, I thought that this bullshit online garbage was going to haunt me for the rest of my life, and to a certain extent, I think it will. I think that no matter how badly I might want this to go away, this is going to be a blemish on my reputation that follows me around until the day I die. It just is what it is. There's not really much I can do about it. If I could do something about it, I absolutely would do something about it, but I can't, and it saddens me to say that, you know, I don't have control over my life. The only thing that we can do as people is pray to God that control that we have, that little bit of control that we have over our lives, outweighs the massive amount of bullshit with politics, bureaucrats, dictatorships, all of the ID bullshit, all of the crazy people in our life. We just have to hope that our ideals and our values and our strengths are enough to outweigh all of the garbage that everybody's been through in their lives, and with a little bit of luck, maybe one day we'll be able to, again, climb to the top of the metaphorical tower and make the most out of the situation. Who knows? I sure as hell don't. Back in the summer of 2023, I uploaded a trailer for a Roblox game known as Doors. Now, for those of you who don't know, Doors is a game in which you walk from room 1 to 100 of variously randomly generated rooms and hallways filled with all kinds of traps, monsters, entities, and the like. And I had an inexplainable love for this game, a love which I tried to express through a trailer on a game that I made. But I could never finish it. I don't know why, I don't know how, but for whatever reason, making a good video on Doors is one of the most impossible things that I could understand. And as I'm sure you know, I have never made the Doors video. It is a joke in my community to this day that I made a lot of hype around this video, only for it to be completely discarded. And that's a shame, because I had a lot of things that I wanted to talk about. I had a lot of ideas. I had a passion, a thesis. What makes a good game great? It's something that I can relish in. It's something that I can try to explore. And unfortunately, after that, my life took probably one of the most dangerous turns, and it is the closest I have ever come to crossing the point of no return. So, when I was 16 or 17, I believe, I was getting mad over Bed Wars, as I did at the time, and my mother came in, and she told me that she was going to take all of my shit away when I got home. I was upset. I started walking out of my room and throwing a tantrum. Again and again and again, I would throw shit over, I would lose my mind, start breaking shit. I'm not sure if anything actually broke, but I was attempting to break shit. It was a whole mess. My mother came over, and she started telling me to unload all of my shit. I didn't want to. It was my only outlet. It was my only freedom from the hellscape that was my childhood. And so I hoped that if I had bargained enough, I hoped that if I had bartered in the right way, that maybe, just maybe, she'd let me keep it. Maybe, just maybe, if I could convince the psychopath to just let me have something, it would be fine. The way I reacted was not okay, but what happened next was anything beyond my wildest imagination. So, I was arguing with my mother, as I did at the time, and I lashed out. Her and I started screaming and fighting like we always did, and I was trying to hold on to the computer as she drug it out of my room, as she took everything away from me. It was my only outlet, and so naturally I was very disturbed and very upset with the fact that I couldn't have that outlet anymore. And with the loss of that outlet, I almost feel like I had lost a piece of myself. Eventually the cops were called down, and I sat there and I told them she's taken everything from me. She is an abuser, and she's admitted it. She denies it because of course she did. Why would she admit to committing a crime? Now that's not fun now, is it? And so I told her that I will beat the shit out of her if you let me go. And so the police there put me in cuffs, put me in the back of a cop car, and I was crying and sobbing in the back of that car. I thought I was going to get arrested. What should I do? Should I try to break the cuffs? Should I try to free myself of the garbage? Or should I just repent and accept that this is my fate, that I am going to be hauled off to God knows where, all because me and my mother fought? It's sick. And so once again, I was booked into a mental asylum. What was this, my 8th or 9th time at this point? I really don't know, and it was scary. It was a horrible thing to go through. I get out in August, and come September, I had lost my mind. My little brother at the time had decided that he wanted to be an asshole. My brother was one who tried to kill me before, hitting me over the head with baseball bats, smacking me in the balls as much as he can, trying to hurt and beat and berate me at every moment, all because my ex-stepfather decided to tell him that I am an issue. I dropped him on his head when I was a baby, and he should hate me because of it. And, you know, I never did that, but it doesn't matter. Eventually, one day, I'm sitting in the house, I am trying to eat a bowl of peas that I had fixed for myself, and my brother said that I had to get out of his spot now. I was there first, there was no assigned seat to this household, I was just sitting eating lunch. And so, he started beating me. He balled up his fist, and keep in mind, he was 7 years old, but he was strong. Pound, 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 pound. Started flurry punching me. First 10, then 20, then 30, then 50, then 100, and it kept going and going and going and going. At a certain point, I literally could not feel the muscles in my back because I could feel them being bruised and battered by the fists that were attaching to my arm. Again and again and again, he'd hit and he'd hit and he'd hit, and I thought he was going to kill me, and I wasn't going to move from the seat. I should have moved from the seat, sure, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day because I decided to stand my ground, and I decided to stand up for what I saw myself. And then that leads into the worst mistake of my life. My brother ended up wrestling with me. We were fighting again, getting into an argument, and I had had enough. I snapped. I got up, I grabbed a knife, and I screamed at the top of my lungs, "I am going to kill you." It is, and was to this day, the worst mistake I'd ever made. Doesn't matter if I was still a teenager at the time. It doesn't matter if I was a minor. It doesn't matter for all the times he'd hit me, for all the times he'd beaten and berated me. It was my brother. And I lost everything with that one situation in my life. Naturally, the police get involved because, that's a fucking crime. And instead of taking me to jail, which they should have, I deserve to rot in the cell for the rest of my life for that. They took me to a mental asylum. Don't get me wrong, I still spent, God knows how long there. I think it was a month, and I deserved every single second of the time that I had spent in that cell. Because it was basically a prison, and that is all I deserved after that. I deserved to suffer as much as I could. Eventually, this is what led to me breaking off with one of my best friends at the time. I've known them for years at this point. They were my best friend. We grew up together. We were like siblings. We were step siblings at some point in time, as they should have. Fuck. It really gets me thinking, how different my life would have been had I not given in to the impulse. I never intended to hurt him. I didn't plan on hurting him, but I still scared him. And I deserved every second of punishment that came because of that. Things have changed since then. Ever since that one moment in my life, I have dedicated the rest of everything that I have to try to protect people, to try to protect them from me. And so I distanced myself, I isolated, I locked myself away in a room, never to be heard from or never to be spoken of again, because I just couldn't bear the thought of seeing me, this wicked, horrible monster, going around anybody else. Eventually, I had managed to move out, and I had managed to start getting my life together. I was full-time employed, taking care of my rent and apartment, and then I met Alex. He was the person who was the centerpiece of all of the AL drama, and with it, I felt like I had found a new sort of meaning in my life. This is a person I could actually confide in, and I could actually relate with on a personal level. He was very chill and very friendly, and I decided, later down the line, that I wanted to make it serious into an actual relationship, but I didn't know how to approach it because I was afraid of rejection. I didn't know what to do. I had never been in that situation before, and when the drama with AL happened, it was because I had ended up pushing another person away, just like I had pushed my brother away all of those years ago. Doesn't matter if we made amends now, it doesn't matter if they're understanding, it still happened. Just like I had pushed my best friend away, I ended up pushing him away because I didn't know how to approach relationships, and it made him feel uncomfortable. And with that, I had given the fuck-ass owner of AL, not the owner, but the fucking community manager, all of the ammunition he needed to take my life down. And in my attempt to repent for that one action, for that one horrible fucking sin I've committed, I lost everything. In a way, I still feel like I deserve it. In a way, I still feel like I deserve to live in the harrowing silence that was my life, of what had become of me after the bullshit, after the fog had settled. I was desperate. I was hoping, no, praying that things would be okay. And they weren't. After that followed the 7 months of bullshit that we all know now, and that I had started my channel because of. I wanted to make amends. I wanted to help. And it turns out I couldn't even do that right. I couldn't do anything right. And so with that, I decided to start posting stories. I figured maybe, just maybe, if I had enough influence, if I could gain enough respect, that maybe I would in some way be able to make up for the actions of my past. You know, there's a real fucking shitty culture on the internet that feels like if you make one mistake in your life, it's just over. And I know what I did was wrong, and I spent every minute of my life trying to make up for it. But I just cannot shake this feeling that deep down I am just a horrible person, and it has become engraved so thoroughly into my psyche that I just don't know what to do going forward. And so, that's where I'm at right now. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to move forward. I don't know even if I should try to move forward. Like I said, I want to make this YouTube thing into something more than just a pipe dream. I want it to be real. I want to make up for my sins, and I want to be someone that is worth following, worth respecting, that's deserving of all of the praise that everybody in my life gives me. I just wish to be okay, and if I can't be okay, I don't know what my life would entail, of what would happen to me had I never met certain people, what would have happened to me if I had fully let my impulses taken over. God forbid, what if I actually hurt my brother? Oh my god, the thought of it just sickens me. I am not a good person. I'm not a bad person either, but I'm certainly not a good person. And I made that abundantly clear. I never try to act like I'm a moral figure that should be followed. I never try to act like I am someone who is really deserving of the help and admiration of all of the people who rallied around me. I always keep it a buck. I am a shitty person who tries his best to be good. And is that not what we're all doing? Is that not the reason why we try to wake up every day, to make the most out of what we have in our lives? Is there a reason for it? Is there something that I don't know about? I'm unsure at this point, but one thing that I do know is that I have to keep trying, because if I don't keep trying, there will be nothing but sorrow and bloodshed and carnage of the psychological tense. It will ruin me for my life. I don't want to ruin anybody's life. I don't want to be somebody who is just a waste of space. I want to help as many people as I can. I want to tell stories about the things that I'm interested in, about events in my life. So that way, maybe, just maybe, I can spread a little bit of joy for the people that are in it, and hopefully keep people from walking down a shitty path like I went on myself.